Underdog Daily with the Badge Bros, John and Inez. I am back, which means the bad takes have returned. Things were going too well with Nez taking down contests in multiple sports, winning pick'ems. That's something that we don't usually try and do around here. Getting 100 X's for the people. Things were going way too smooth. New year, new me with you, Nez. This year, we're just following all your guidance from here on out, my friend.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I didn't have the day I was hoping for yesterday, and I came on here just wide-eyed, bushy-tailed. Is that what they say?
Yes, that is
Just
close enough.
thrilled to be drafting yesterday, and didn't work out. But the cover boy got home, so
Mm,
that's all that matters, right? You get the cover boy right. No one cares about what the hell you said during the day.
exactly. Yeah, they'll just come back. They'll see Scotty Bolway at the front and be like, "Boom, here we go."
Yeah, he's got to be like up there for most covers, I think, for us. I'd
Yeah,
imagine.
I do agree. I do agree. But rightfully so yesterday. Dude, I was shocked IQ came back and played 32 minutes. I was dumbfounded when I saw that.
That was incredible. That I
Yeah.
mean, like right off the rip, 32 minutes. Like, God, dude, the Raptors are going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Like very, very soon. They are going to be a ton of fun.
I mean, awesome in terms of like fantasy fun and goodness, right? Not like awesome as in like they might make a run.
Hey man, I can't
Okay.
promise they won't make a little bit of a run here. I can't promise
Okay.
it. Fantasy awesome, real life. They're going to start winning more games. I mean, fully healthy Raptors are not a pushover. But
Yeah.
you know, maybe the markets are going to take a little bit to catch up to it. Like that was my whole thing yesterday is like we have the new look Nets
Mhm.
and we had this situation last year
Mhm.
with the Raptors, ironically, when we had IQ over to in RJ
Yep.
in Toronto. We were like, oh my God, this is the new spot. It took a little bit and it eventually got there in a big way. We have D'Lo in
Yeah.
Brooklyn now. It changes everything in Brooklyn. And like I saw the 220 total yesterday. I was like, this is so bad. This is I'm like, this is not an advice show for over-unders and shit like that. But this is my opinion is one of the worst totals I've ever seen. And
You
and
nailed it.
yeah, that was
Yeah.
we got another fun one tonight too, low key.
Well, that's interesting. Maybe that's a fun segue to tonight's slate a little bit here. Actually, I got to tell you about one thing from yesterday as well there, but little segue into today talking about the Nets, like new look Nets are going to be even newer look Nets this evening without Simmons starting and at the one. Like, do we think D'Lo starts? Because we're getting probably D'Lo starting tonight, and we're getting Cam Thomas back, who wasn't there last night. So, like, this is even newer look Nets. So, yeah, it's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting to parse through.
Yeah, it would be weird if D'Lo didn't start tonight, I don't think. But
I tend to agree with you. I tend to
mhm.
agree with you there. I mean, I'm just thinking like they got Tyler Williams coming back tonight too. He was close last night, but it sounds like he's going to be trending in the right direction for tonight. So this is a completely different overhaul than the iteration we saw last night as well. So, anyways,
Yeah.
we'll get through that one. The other one that fits that same mold is Sixers with or without Embiid, because this is last night was another slate that we got on it again, where PG was my highest own. I know he was up there for you as well there, and you said it on the show that like he was just flat out mispriced, like as if he was priced with Embiid in. We might have a similar scenario today with that one where
The
it's like,
inverse, right?
yeah, the inverse, right? Where it's like he's pushed up in a big way, not in a big way, but he's pushed up a little higher than if Embiid's in. But then if Embiid's out, I mean, he's way undervalued again. So very
Mhm.
interesting slate dynamics to talk through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Dude, I had a little bit of a sweat last night. Actually, well, the PG talk here. So I told you, so I'll tell everybody that yesterday everybody went out to watch the football games. Some people did some last day on the slopes and stuff like that. And I just chilled the fuck out. I watched the games by myself. Me and the dog just chilled out, and I drafted my most NBA I'd done in a while. I think I did 115 teams, and I hand drafted most of them because I was just having fun hanging out on my lonesome there. And PG was my highest owned player there, and we went to a party last night It's like a Japanese New Year. So Japanese do like day of New Year celebration and invite friends and family over. We play bingo, we bullshit around, whatever. Games on in the background kind of deal, right? And I was like, man, I looked down at the app and I was like, oh, dude, I'm at 305. And like, here's Absolute Sauce chiming in right now. I'm at
Yeah.
I'm at 305 and I'm looking to take down that Absolute Sauce train that he had at the top of the leaderboard. He was A-winning the shit out of the leaderboard for a bit there. And I was like, oh, I got PG and he's not live. I was boxed out of first, but I was like, okay, let me sneak away to the other room, put this game on for a hot second. So I tuned in. And then, there's like 40 people in the other room, but I tuned in for the last 5 minutes of that ball game, and I was at 305 in points. I went down to 301 by the time that ball game was over. In the last 5 minutes, they were up 9. Sixers were up 9. They didn't score. He turned it over like 3 times, and he fouled out. So I was like, oh man, never.
I was wondering why my winnings dropped too. I was like, oh nice, I might be able to salvage something here.
Right.
And then I actually lost $50. I don't know what happened. I could have really used that too.
I was excited to flex on my friends in the other room and be like, yo guys, even on a rest day, we got one home here. I'm back.
No, but you were like mega duped too, which like, I mean, you just, for whatever reason, man, you just can't get away from the dupe trains.
Yeah, I think I was duped with one of the lineups and not duped with the other one. Like I had 2 in the top 20, and then they both ended up falling. Yeah.
Oh,
so good. Oh man, so duped because I'm such a fraud, man. Don't never scroll, man. Des, what else we got to talk about here? I gotta say happy holidays, happy New Year to everybody because I missed out on that sort of stuff. I saw a lot of good best ball wins come across the timeline there. Mad respect to everyone there. The biggest in which I saw from our community was Jump Free, took down 100K with the second place finish there. So shout out to him. Anything else that kind of took place in the last little bit that we got to touch on?
There, not that I can really recall, other than I know we got Sauce in here, like you mentioned, gave us a nice shout out. If you didn't win money yesterday, that's the guy you want to look at. That's the guy you want to look for. When you have, I think, what do you say, 16 of the top 80 or something along those lines,
wild.
He's keeping everybody out. So, I mean, his highest cash was like less than 2K and he brought home like 16K. Wow. So yeah, he was boxing out everybody. So he had a great night. 92% Scotty Barnes. That is unreal. That's unreal.
Big time alpha play there. Love it, man. Oh, mad respect to the Absolute Sauce. We got another sauce now. We got the hot sizzles.
Yeah,
we got the Absolute Sauce.
The battle of the sauces over here.
Saucing it up, boys. Saucing it around. All right, Nez. Well, let's dive into the slate a little bit here. Actually, I got to give myself some flowers real quick here, Nez. 51st in the pug. Yo, people are talking. Might be a best ball bro again. Might be best.
Anybody, I don't care what they say about you, John. You're the sharpest badge, bro. I mean, I that's better than anything I can. I have nothing to show for my best ball season. Absolutely nothing. I could have taken a podium finish in the pit bull, I think, and would have broke even.
Hey Nez, you know what the sharps do say? It's just one slate, my friend.
Just one slate.
Just one slate, bro. Just one slate.
Just one big red slate for your boy.
Oh, I love it. Let's talk some hoops today. I love that Chad is already throwing some alpha our way, throwing some stats to the context in which we were talking about there. PG fantasy points per minute with and without Embiid splits there. So you can see the drastic split of the 1.14 versus the 102 there. So directly funneling into the slate. I think that's kind of the theme of the slate right now, Nez, is low totals that are all kind of in and around the same vicinity. And then in terms of ADP, rapid shifting value available if injury news breaks one way or the other. So obviously, you have the Celtics stuff to parse through. We just got the nugget that Zinger walked through shoot around. It said he participated in a workout. It didn't say he participated in shoot around or present at shoot around, which is like the normal stuff that we get. We got a worked out during shoot around, which is a little different, just wording wise, just something that I was picking up on there. But anyways, the flip flop dynamics of basically what's going to happen at the front of the board if you end up with no AD, if you end up with none of those Celtics pieces, if you end up with no Embiid or Embiid in or out, and then we got the Harden Q tag that just appeared. So I'm going to bring up ADP and stuff like that, and kind of just your macro feel to what's going on here.
Yeah, it's not my favorite slate. Not my favorite slate. There's a lot of Q tags, and a lot of them feel very real. Not to mention, not even including the James Harden Q tag, which like I'm just treating James Harden as though he's not playing. I mean, these late edition Q tags, the hit rate on them for being out is so high that like I'm just going to assume James Harden doesn't play. And when you take James Harden out of this game, then you're looking at this looking at a potential bloodbath for the Clippers here. But I think there's also a chance that we see Norm Powell increased usage big time. Maybe a little Kevin Porter, a little Chris Dunn in the 6th round, because the 6th round is very, very wide open depending on how you choose to see it. So I mean, yeah, look at all these names that you just put in the queue, man. I mean, yeah, geez Louise.
And I think the pendulum swing effect is so real. I guess we could touch on the Harden one for a half second. Like you implemented that, some of those other names that will push up because of that, the Pals of the world and stuff like that. Obviously, we have the same effect of the Embiid one, where it's like Maxi's kind of already priced at where he should be with or without Embiid in, but PG would push up in that instance there. The other one that jumps out to me in a big way is what we do with these auxiliary pieces for the Bucks. This probable tag, is it a Q probable? Is it a real probable? Like, what are we doing with the Giannis stuff here?
I'm taking Giannis 101.
Sure, but are you still taking like the Bobby Portises of the world, the Middletons of the world, because they're up in back end 5th round, front end 6th round territory right now?
Yeah, I think Middleton is worth taking in the 6th round still.
Okay. All right.
Especially because I think that this is another spot. I don't feel as confident as I did with like the Raptors against the Nets. Plus, this is like a second leg of a back-to-back for the Nets. But I think this game can easily be the highest scoring game on the slate. And I think it can easily exceed its total, just given the fact that, okay, yeah, it's back-to-back, but we have fresh legs of Cam Thomas. D'Lo is still there. No Ben Simmons. Not that like he's slowing things down a ton, but you take you all these factors included, it seems like this game could be run and gun, and I think that makes Middleton worthy of a 6th round pick. You're starting to see him creep up to 30 minutes, but they're like 14-point favorites here too. They might smash the Nets into the earth here.
Yeah, right. Blow the doors off them. Okay, cool. Good segue to jump into the game by game, unless there's anything else you want to say macro on some of the Q tags and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess like if I was to guess, I'm leaning out on Jaylen Brown.
Okay.
Leaning in on Kristaps because of what you mentioned off the top.
Yeah.
The news of somebody participating in shoot around, I tend to treat that as they're playing. It's not 100%. But that is something that I do. And the reason I think Jaylen Brown sits is that like the Celtics have not been top of their game lately by any means. They've been sort of pretty banged up as well, but the T-Wolves have just been not a good team at all, truthfully. And the spread's only like 4.5. It opened at 3. And then I think, people were like, what the fuck is that? And now it's at 4.5, but still 4.5. For Celtics versus the T-Wolves, I think that means Jaylen Brown is not playing. Somebody might not be playing.
Okay. Yeah. No, I tend to agree with you. They are front end back-to-back, as Chad's alluding to in the chat here. They do have the Rockets tomorrow night. So the back end back-to-back teams, Miami, who still hasn't filed yet. I think that's a really interesting one to talk through because Jimmy Butler's ADP looks low-key fake because I was just hand building a couple there, and he was falling to the 5th round over and over again after the clunker he put up last night, coupled with the fact that people think he may just pop up on the injury report here in probably 13 minutes time there. So I'd like to know which side of the fence you're kind of on with the Miami stuff. But hold one second. Brooklyn's back-to-back, but they've already filed. Miami's back-to-back, hasn't filed. Philadelphia back-to-back and hasn't filed. And it's West Coast Embiid, which is always harder to deal with because they take that one down till game time, and we'll have already played 4 games on this slate by the time in which we get that information there. And then the front end back-to-back stuff was the Boston one there, and the Lakers, I think, is noteworthy because of the AD Q tag, and they're not nationally televised tomorrow. They're NBA TV televised tomorrow, if it matters, but they get Atlanta at home versus getting Portland at home tonight and not being a national TV game. The national TV games today are Boston at Minnesota and Philadelphia at Golden State. Let's dial that back one sec there, Nez, and ask you the Miami question. What do you think about Miami in general?
I didn't think Butler was going to suit up, but 2 things changed. One, Chad saying that they did file, and Butler is not listed. And 2, we didn't have any pick'ems for Jimmy Butler, and now we do. So they're not like out of this world, but it is against Indy, and this is sort of a pretty gross, ambiguous slate. So if people are still going to let Jimmy slip into the 5th, I think that's a pretty easy click today. I can't imagine that we see 18 fantasy points from Jimmy Butler again. I would be shocked.
He was my second highest, my 3 highest last night: Cam Johnson, Jimmy Butler, and PG. And Jimmy Butler sunk a lot of those really nice lineups. Cam Johnson didn't really do much in the 6th round there. You needed other pieces, but
when Levine was doing what he did, like that totally killed it. But Cam Johnson was on pace, John.
Yeah, he was on pace. He was on pace. He actually didn't play the last 4 minutes of that ball game either. I went back and I looked at the popcorn machine there because last 4 minutes of that game, they just waved the white flag.
Yeah. Because they waited way too long to get him in the 4th. It was so annoying. He played like 3 minutes there.
Yeah.
Pissing me off.
Maybe that's got something to do with like the new rotations that we're going to see. It's really weird with that team right now. We can talk about it.
He was at the scores table for like 2 minutes. They just never got him in.
There you go. There's the hand on the court meta that we needed. Because they lost somebody else last night. Who'd they lose again last night?
Clowney.
Clowney went down, but somebody else as well that they just traded for. Martin. I think they lost Martin too, didn't they? In the 4th there, something like that. Yeah, they just bodies were dropping. Okay, Nez, anything else on the Q tags, or we can hop to the unabated game by game?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get to it.
All right, let's do it. As we alluded to off the jump there, man, a lot of low totals here. We're seeing 224 and 224.5 as the highs on the slate, and then the lows being like 215, 214. So very, very tight, especially comparing to like slate that we had yesterday, where you had games that were like 215 on one end of the spectrum, and then we had 2 games that were like 246, 244, 243, like stuff like that. So I think that's a good like kind of macro lay of the land. Anything else you want to say kind of macro about spreads and totals?
No, it's just 2 blowouts and a bunch of low scoring games, potentially 3 blowouts and a bunch of low scoring games. It's ugly, but at least it's ugly everywhere for whatever the hell it's worth.
Yeah, I agree with you there. There we go. Thank you guys for hitting me up. It was Maxwell Lewis who got hurt last night that it looked bad at the end there. So it's just another rotation piece that was part of a trade. The other stuff with this slate, Nez, I was looking through some pace metrics. Almost every game looks the same. Like yesterday, we had like spots where teams were adding multiple possessions and like this sort of thing in terms of pace. You nailed how the rotation changing in that Raptors game and Nets game would be pace up environment. Like I'm not seeing a ton that jumps off the page today as pace up. I'm seeing a lot of good defensive teams, and I'm seeing a lot of games where it's like, man, maybe it's a difference of 1 or 2 possessions total, but I'm not seeing like, this is the pace up spot of the night. Maybe you could say that with Sixers if we get no Embiid, but I don't know, man. What do you think about pace in terms of these games?
Yeah, no, I'm like I fully agree with you. It's the exact opposite of yesterday. Yesterday, like the stars, like I was saying, the stars aligned. There were so many awesome spots that were just like on top of one another. It just didn't. It was just crazy. I'd never seen anything like that. And then you go here, and you've got like the Warriors and Sixers, like shitty spot. The only thing that could make this thing worse is if we had the Magic on here. Like if we could just put the Magic on this slate, you know, and a had to have it score came from that Magic game. The Jalen Suggs score was one that you had to have. So you know, even with that, but yeah, no, this is just not the slate I'm looking for. But Heat against Pacers seems to be like, yeah, I like that one.
Yeah, like the best of the worst, right? Like, okay, I guess.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I
Okay.
kind of like that one.
All right, let's do it as game by game. Boston at T-Wolves here, as you alluded to. Both teams not it at the moment, but we got Boston Q tags on both sides. We got the Jaylen Brown and we got the Kristaps Porzingis one there. And then on the T-Wolves, look pretty healthy, man. They look pretty healthy. Basically no rotation pieces out of the mix there, and they're playing really condensed right now. Guys are playing big minutes, but like the fantasy production is like pretty flat and pretty spread. Dante DiVincenzo has come to life in recent memory and put up a couple like 35s, 39s, 140 ball in there in recent memory. But like, man, they only run like 8 or 9 deep. So you know what you're getting with them every single night. And it's just like not that fun for fantasy. And kind of similar on the Celtics side, unless we get some outs on these Q tags. And as you alluded to, Jaylen Brown, who was icing his shoulder on the bench last game, there might be a little rest spot here for him on the front end of the back-to-back after Zinger goes through shoot around. What do you like in here in terms of ADP in game?
I'm like sort of into Anthony Edwards,
Okay.
which like I never can say. It never
Yeah.
ever can.
Are you
can say
aware that he does
honestly.
not have a ceiling nest?
I had to remind everybody that Anthony Edwards, in fact, is ceilingless. But on this slate, man, when it comes to people that like I would take ahead of Anthony Edwards, not very many. Like J Dub right now, Jalen Williams, like projection does not strike me as one where he needs to be going ahead of Anthony Edwards. Harden is out for all of for my money. Dame, I could probably get Dame ahead of Anthony Edwards, but he doesn't project better than Ant if you're going to be a projection respector. And then you have Bam and Hero, who are I would probably take over over Anthony Edwards, to be quite honest. But I don't want to play that game right now. I'd rather try to get Ant and some of those two as opposed to taking both. But Bam and Hero both look a little better than Ant Edwards does today. But I think Ant does like yeah, I know there's no ceiling, and that is like true, but also like it's not true, right? Like we haven't seen it in a large sample, but Anthony Edwards can always pop off for close to 60. And against the shorthanded Celtics at home could be it, man. It very well could be it. So today is not the I fade Anthony Edwards a lot. You can check the data. Not today.
Okay. Yeah, I respect it, dude. I do think a lot of that dynamic is like just flipping the sides of the board here. It's really hard to take an ADP 13 guy right now on the right-hand side of the board. You know what I mean? And I think that's why a lot of people will have their Ant combos funneling to the right-hand side of the board over and over again here, because it is like, okay, I can't tell myself the story that J-Dub's projections should have him over there. And then this kind of next tier, you don't want to rip some of these like 11 double-digit ADPs all the way to the 7 hole over and over again, right?
Not over and over again, but like I am going to be mixing in Bam and Hero with Anthony Edwards. And just the way I like to play this stuff.
Yeah, no, for sure. The Bam and Hero stuff is like completely Jimmy Butler agnostic. Like, it's just interesting because like, okay, cool.
Right now, I mean, this version of Jimmy Butler, off these major, he missed a ton of time. This version of Jimmy Butler and the projections seem to agree. And by projections, I mean like the pick'ems. Like the pick'em lobbies say, we don't give a shit that Jimmy Butler is back. Here's a 35.5 PRA for Hero, and we're gonna have a 40 fantasy play projection on Bam when those come out. Like just deal with it.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy, because like that could be like an ultimate leverage spot where like if I wanted to play the anecdotal narrative of like, okay, first game back last night, kind of ease them in. They know it's front end of back to back. And then second night, it's like, all right, here we go. Like Butler's ready to go. Like this was a plan, like we were all anticipating the Q tag of like he gets the first ramp up, then he gets the Q tag, then we talk about it. Like, what if the plan from their end was like, okay, we play the shit out of Hero and Bam tonight. Duncan Robinson was, working his way off a Q there. We know we're going to get Terry back. And now tonight is the night that it's like, all right, we're ready to go ham with Jimmy Buckets.
Yeah, I mean, you might be able to take advantage of that in the pick'em lobby, but
not in the draft stuff.
I mean, if he's cheap, man, if Jimmy's cheap, I'm going to take some cheap Jimmy.
Yeah.
And looking at the pick'em lobbies again, just to kind of cross check myself, they're lining up with my sentiment, which is that like I would probably take Bam over Anthony Edwards. He's projects 3 points better than Anthony Edwards does, and Dame projects better than Anthony Edwards too. So, it's tough. It's like, do I want to try to make that call in the drafts, or do I want to take an Anthony Edwards fantasy point pick'em and think that I can, well exceed that if things go my way? So, something to think about.
Yeah, I respect it, dude, for sure. Well put. It's just interesting. I was looking at the machine here. Jimmy Buckets just didn't come back in the ball game after the end of the third there. Same with Duncan Robinson as well. But you saw Bam come into close. Hero played the entirety of the fourth. Highsmith, Alec Burks closed, and the fake Joker closed. Interesting stuff.
And it's not like it was a blowout either.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, they were also kind of like, we can handle here.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. What are your thoughts on Terry as like a 6th round pick tonight?
I don't really do much Terry anymore.
Okay. Yeah. Fair enough. He played like 38 minutes last time out, and then he only had like 24 fantasy points. Like the handling's just like not there where it used to be,
Yeah, I wouldn't fault anybody for wanting to get there. But if he played 38 minutes against he got suspended, so he didn't even play against the Pelicans, huh?
Yeah. That was the
from the hero
Rick Thompson. Yeah.
I forgot that he came up and defended his guy.
Yeah. Beauty. Absolute beauty. All right, Nez, let's move on to the next one. We kind of naturally got there. Heat Pacers. We were anticipating that Q tag a little bit there. Heat line is moving in real time here. Whoa. -1.5. Then we just saw it shoot to 2. Then there was like a little flash here that almost looked like a 3 at one point there. That's crazy stuff going down there. 225 for the game. I do agree with you that this looks like the fastest of the bunch, and it looks like the best on paper, in quotations. Pacers still without all their backup 5s. That's why they traded for Thomas Bryant there. And then that's basically all that's noteworthy. I mean, no Naismith still, and none of the 5s there. And then Heat filed, and Duncan Robinson's available. Terry's available after the suspension. Nothing funny on that side. So this game could go pretty deep on both sides. I mean, the Heat is the hardest rotation in all of basketball to project right now, in my opinion. But yeah, what are you thinking about this one? We got 3 Pacers with ADPs, and we get 3 Heat with ADPs that basically go every single draft, and then a whole bunch of undrafted guys as well from that game.
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with like trying to project the Heat's rotation, but like we only care about 3 Heat players, and it's Bam, Tyler, and Jimmy. And
that's fair.
Jimmy apparently, and I mean I've seen it too, but I don't know if maybe Jimmy's going to go back to his ADP now that we know that he's not on the injury report. But he's been slipping. And Hero and Bam are just underpriced, man. They are, just flat out need to be going higher in these drafts, and they don't have the name. Bam has the history of killing everybody and failing, so people don't want to take that. And then people just don't quite get the Hero fantasy role right now.
Yeah.
So he's continually, slate after slate, one of the more underdrafted players every single time that there's a slate. So he's one of the best picks right now for me. And Jimmy falls, take Jimmy.
Cool. Yeah, I respect that, dude. He had 32 last night there, played 40 minutes. Dude, Jimmy only put up 5 shots last night. Interesting.
Weird.
All right. Yeah, I mean, just deferring to Hero,
Does he
man.
just like want to get the fuck out of there? And he's just like, I'm gonna tank my trade value. I don't
I
like
don't
it's
know.
so
Yeah,
strange.
yeah. Bizarre, man. Yeah, and then after Pat Riley comes out and gives that whole spiel about how they're not trading him, and then I don't know, very interesting.
Pat Riley needs to get away from basketball. He's actively like killing the Miami Heat organization. Actively.
He's a legend, though. He's a legend. Like, you just can't do anything about it, right?
No, yeah, you just got to let him kill the entire team. Yeah. I mean, it's so bad. It's so bad.
Did I ever tell you that I saw him sitting at a blackjack table wearing a Heat championship ring at like 4 a.m. at the Bellagio?
Mm-mm.
Dude, just him by himself at a blackjack table, ring on. It was bizarre. It was awesome.
I'd do that too. I'd wear my fucking ring.
Hey, that's a good comp. It's like the Belichick effect.
Yeah,
A
basically.
little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's done a lot, so they got to let him stick around. And I mean, he's a nightmare. He's a nightmare.
All right, Nez, we got Clippers, OKC up next there. Clippers obviously dealing with this Harden Q tag. I guess the question to ask you is, where are you comfortable taking Harden right now, and where are you pushing Zubac and Powell to if he does not go, or in your rankings right now? Because I'm not jumping up to down to get either of them without Harden in. It's not like one of those 1-for-1 replacement spots where it's like, oh, if Tatum had the Q tag right now, like, you just jam Jaylen Brown and Derek White. Like, right now with this situation, it's not like I'm running to the podium to jam Norm Powell right now.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not quite 1-to-1.
Right.
I have James Harden ranked very low, like behind Austin Reeves and behind Hartenstein. Like, I don't think he plays. So,
Okay.
I mean, there is a limit to that. Because then he hits like another wall of Q tags with Steph, but I kind of think Steph plays tonight. So I would probably go Steph over Harden, to be quite honest. I just don't want any James Harden for the rest of the day. I really just do not want to be forced to click his name.
Okay. Yeah. So you're comfortable with it in the third round there because you'll be created in quote unquote super team, but you still don't really feel good about clicking it.
Not at all, especially because we haven't seen like this is not a good spot for James Harden against the Thunder.
Yeah.
And it seems like all he does these days is, he does like he'll give you 30 and no less, no more than 30 fantasy points these days, which is really upsetting. So it's like, what do you even get when you get him?
Right.
If he is in. So it just is not something that I want to take part in.
Okay, cool. Any auxiliary 6th round Clippers pieces that you would want to get to? Like, who jumps into the starting lineup to tonight? Like, KPJ just ends up starting, or do they do something funky with like more handling role for Powell and Chris Dunn, and then they bring in like Batum, who started in the past, or Coffee, like something like that? I mean, is there anyone else that you want to get to in the 6th round right now to take advantage of this situation?
You could probably make a case for KPJ and like usage opening up, and like, obviously like Norm Powell already has a pretty strong role. So, we kind of covered like, what does Norm Powell gain from this? I don't think his projection really changes that much. It's obviously a little higher, but like, it's not like amazing. So yeah, KPJ, Chris Dunn, Amir Coffey is like who we're looking at to potentially benefit. Or what do we got for? I mean, hey now, you know who played? You know who played against the Spurs?
I hope you say his name. Just say his name.
What about old Bonesy Bone?
Baby, I knew we'd get there. I knew we would get there, Nez. I'm so fucking proud of you right now. Yes, why not, man? He had an after dark slate there where he played garbage time run, and he's a fantasy point per minute dude in garbage time. Like, he's a monster when they just go like, hey, we're down 20, go out there and have fun, and he'll just give you 25 fantasy points in like 18 minutes off the bench.
I mean, oh, dude, I wish that like I could get confidence that like, you know what? this game is over. Like, this is why you have Bones Highland on your roster. This is what it's all about. This is literally what it's all about. If you're not going to play him, trade him to Brooklyn, and let's just like let the Brooklyn Nets just play the most insane basketball of all time.
so fun. You know who he reminds me of? This is a throwback comp here.
Oh God, am I even gonna get this?
Monte Ellis.
Okay, yeah.
You know,
I mean, a little disrespectful to Monte Ellis, but yeah,
for sure. But he's just like a dude that comes out there and just chucks, and like he's a straight like hooper. You know,
he is a hooper through and through.
Yeah,
through
like
and
that.
Through, he's a hooper.
Like Lou Williams style, like Jamal Crawford style, where it's like this lean, undersized dude is just gonna come out here. He's gonna dangle the shit out of everybody, and he's just gonna get his.
Please play him tonight. Please.
I'm taking him in the 6th, buddy. It's insanely disrespectful. Insanely disrespectful to the Monte Ellis.
I need a quote from Ty Lue that says, I need a quote from Ty Lue that just like tells us that like, yep, Bones is starting. All right, Bones time.
If Bones starts, I'd want 100% in the 6th round.
100%. 100%.
Dude, this is one. Okay, I'm gonna derail us for 1 second here before we talk about the Thunder side. Classic John's back here. One thing that's been like a hot button topic right now that's been going around is, the sweat equity of some of the stuff on Underdog associated with the best ball stuff. And here's one that just instantly kind of like brings it to mind for me here is Mr. Pittsburgh 21, who we've obviously seen in the chat for years now. Shout out to you guys for making the Badge Bros Brawl possible because he won first for 50K.
Holy shit.
Big shout out to you, man. I had no idea because both my teams died in the last round. So I don't even have access to leaderboard. And if nobody tweets it at me or something like that, I can't see it. So that's a little unfortunate. Dude, winner's circle through and through. If you want it, we can do it Monday next week, something like that. I would love to have you on the show. This is amazing. It should have been our first shout out after best ball season for winning our contest, but I didn't have access to leaderboard. So that one, yeah.
Didn't make it. My old strat. You know what's so funny, dude?
Mm-hmm.
I played. If I told you, knowing what you know about this season, hey, I'm going to play the Badge Bros Brawl and I'm going RB heavy, you would think I would have dominated.
Right.
Didn't draft the right ones, though. Didn't draft the right ones.
Yeah, I think I would have thought you dominated too.
I mean, given the way that the season played out, yeah, like nice, man. You got the meta right.
Yeah, you nailed that, dude.
Wrong buzzer. Incorrect buzzer.
Oh, man. Chad's throwing Bones Highland versus Ellis contracts at me. I know he's not anywhere on the level. I'm just saying when he's on the court and he's playing.
This is so unlike you, John.
They kind of look a little similar.
This is so unlike you to make a far-fetched comp from one player to another. You've never done something like this before. We need to set you straight. Go back to your very, very logical comparisons.
You know what peak Tom Brady was? Well, how about Mac Jones in week 15?
I mean, that you might be onto something there. I don't think Tom Brady's ever connected to BTJ like Mac Jones did.
Oh, man. Here you go. Lewis flexing in the chat here with his Bones Highland. Bones Highland, 62 fantasy points, won him 8K last year. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Anyways, to get back to this, I do think we need to do something sweat related with best ball next year. Like we got to be like broadcasting alongside because there's definitely a demand, Nez, for like people want to see leaderboards. People want to see what's going on, that sort of thing. And even if it's not integrated in the platform yet, which I hope it comes in the future there, like we could be doing something, the same way live finals work or something.
For our contest, I just saw an update.
Or all contests in general, just because like there's definitely people who want real-time sweat equity associated with it, and we could be the guys bouncing from leaderboard to leaderboard, doing live call-ins with how someone's doing for a sweat, very similar to Dog Bowl but for best ball.
Yeah, I would love doing something like that. I think that's like right. I think that's part of the future of this, I think.
yeah, maybe that's something that we do incorporate next year, and we can kind of try and do it in tandem with Underdog to make it a reality.
I'm blocking my calendar out
All right.
for week 17.
Yeah, that sounds great. All right, Mr. Pittsburgh, DM me, dude. We'll figure something out. It doesn't have to be Monday. It was just a suggestion. If you want to do it, I'm happy to make it work. We can pre-record something. We can do whatever. But very happy to have you on at any point in time. Okay, Nez, Thunder side of the ball there. I think it's a big debate whether you take SGA at 2 or whether you take AD with the Q tag instead there. I think that's a hot button issue. What side of the fence do you reside on for that one right now?
I've been doing SGA
Okay.
over AD, but that's mostly because I'm, playing the market a little bit in that regard. But AD against Portland, man, I would, on any other slate, literally any other slate, I would have AD over Shea, and it wouldn't even be close. But I think part of the issue for me, John, is I keep fading SGA, and he keeps murdering me. I don't
You
like
get
if
80
you-
a kid, bro. You got to get them in there.
check the slates that I've done well on. I would be shocked if any of them were
For
SGA.
SGA.
I'm just consistently low on this guy, and now I'm like, I'm tired of it. All right, cool. I'll take him. Here it's good. So I've done 62 of the main slate, 13 SGA shares.
Mhm.
I can't find my Davis shares. Okay, here we go. 9 Anthony Davis shares. So I don't think it's big enough sample size to tell, but I think it's definitely a mixed bag.
Okay.
Of people taking SGA at ADP versus Ant at 2.
Is SGA league MVP right now?
I mean, I'm such a Joker stan that I would say Joker, but he's got to be close.
Yeah. Okay. Winky chiming in saying AD is the 101 today. I respect the hell out of that. Love Winky's takes as always. I mean, I don't know. The Q tag's the same as the Giannis probable tag, and the Giannis game is a what was that 14-point spread? It's at 13 points there, and the Lakers one's 9. Higher total game environment. I don't know. I'm a little scared that their AD's played through the Q tag almost every single game this season. He hasn't sat since I think November 5th or 6th, something like that. I think he goes tonight. I think they need the size tonight. I think they need the size tonight even more than they need the size tomorrow night. Is that crazy to say?
Who do they have tomorrow? The Hawks?
Yeah.
Yeah, if Jalen Johnson plays, then you're gonna maybe need some AD.
But they're long and they got wings anyways. I think he plays both for what it's worth. But I'm just saying, I think like if you just look at the two matchups on paper, you kind of want the size tonight, like a traditional big-bodied 5 style size. Then you need tomorrow night against like Clint and Oneka Kongu and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably accurate. Anthony Davis right now projects in the pick'em lobby for about 54, and Shea is 49.5. So
okay,
if you want to go on that, then yeah, Giannis 2 or AD 2. So maybe I'll move AD to 2.
Okay. Yeah, I like it, dude. I like it. As you mentioned, Giannis there, we can move into Nets, Bucks here. A lot of moving parts on the net side there. I think some of those back end pieces are going to be really interesting to talk through because if you get a starting D'Lo and he's a 6th round pick right now and you get that handling rule and you get 35 minutes of D'Lo tonight, I do think he can break the slate from the 6th round. Even in this game, that's just like my knee-jerk reaction. And then I think the 6th round Bucks pieces are very hingent upon, if Giannis didn't play is where they're kind of like hedging their price tags right now. Yeah, any thoughts there?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just playing as Giannis in. I know he's got the probable tag. I know we've seen it fail, but yeah, I mean, we've seen how much things change when Giannis sits. Giannis sits, and Bobby Portis is a 3rd round pick. I mean, it's very much a thing. But I'm not doing too much Bobby Portis today because I think Giannis plays, and when Giannis plays, I mean, don't have a huge sample of like Because it seems like Bobby Portis does have sort of like a newer role
Mhm.
on this team, and it's against Brooklyn.
Mhm.
And I think this game's going to go over its total. So, all that being said, I guess Bobby in the 6 is fine,
Okay.
but I'm more so looking at these Nets in the 6th round.
Yeah, I'm with you there, dude. I've basically taken none of the Bucks guys in the last round, and I'm treating it as if Giannis is in. And I was, trying to smash the Nets guys in the last round. There, I was taking Cam Thomas a decent amount in the 6th round last night when I did some autos while I went to sleep. And then now I'm kind of, doing a little bit of D'Lo, doing a little bit of Cam Johnson, doing a little bit of Claxton. Yeah, what are you thinking? Your favorite targets on the Nets side there? I guess I should just say that no Boyan still, no Noah Clowney, no Ben Simmons. Obviously, Melton's done for the year. Maxwell Lewis done. Watford as well out. So I don't know, maybe like some Darren Sharp backup 5 run available there. But yeah, I mean, I kind of like the Claxton role tonight, if I am being honest. Zaire Williams expected to be back tonight too, and it's been a minute since we had him. But of all those names there, Nez, which are your favorites at the back end of drafts?
I think both Cams, but I prefer Cam Thomas.
Okay.
D'Lo, absolutely. Claxton's going to be playing a ton of minutes. But D'Lo for me, man, is such a good pick. Such a good pick.
I agree, man. I agree.
So like 2 things happening right now. One, you have the total 220, mediocre. The whole slate's mediocre. And you just have these projections on D'Lo that are just too afraid to say, hey, I think D'Lo is going to be the number 1 option on the Brooklyn Nets. And he could here's something. Here's an idea for the idea box. D'Angelo Russell, pick 'em lobby, more picks. D'Angelo Russell, 6x for a double-double.
Let's start cooking, dude.
He's the fucking primary ball handler.
Yeah.
they're gonna be shooting the lights out. I mean, maybe not the light. They're gonna be shooting at the lights. They might not hit. They might not shoot them out. It's gonna be a million shot attempts here. 6x for a D'Lo double-double is crazy.
Here, let's go like bear case on it, just for argument's sake for a second. What is the worst case scenario for D'Lo? He doesn't start. He comes off the bench. He only plays 24, 25. He doesn't close. There's a non-zero chance he could still get home.
That would just be shocking to me.
It would be shocking. I agree with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate for even bear case looks half decent.
I mean, like that would have to be. They would almost need to get blown out, and his rotations, just for whatever reason, are not like it's just bad, really bad timing. I suppose, but like, what's the bull case?
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Okay. What are we pairing this one with? Because we got to get this one in there. I'll go back to Unabated real quick and look as well. Is there anything else that was popping out to you that you liked?
I mean, Heroes pick'ems are juicy, but like you see these hero numbers for teams that are not the Indiana Pacers. So
right.
I feel like they haven't been quite adjusted enough for hero. So I like just like straight up like hero points or I see some Austin Reeves chat. I know a lot of people are excited about Austin Reeves today as well.
Okay. Yeah, we haven't got to that game yet. Okay. I'm seeing Unabated's telling us some Benedict Mathurin lowers stuff, but it's like ever so slight. Chris Middleton, rebound assists. Yeah, I like your hero call. Let's do the hero stuff. Hero just points you like?
Yeah, just keep it simple. Tyler Hero to fill it up.
Okay, let's see if we got any of the Christmas box. We got nothing in the Christmas box. 100 USD gets us 1821. Let's go.
Believe in something.
Believe in something. All right, there you go. Cam Johnson's lower ownership hedge from paid there in the last round. I think that's pretty sharp.
Yeah, he will be
Nobody's
lower.
clicking him, man.
No one's getting there. And like, I think with Cam Thomas being back, like it really nukes the Cam Johnson ceiling.
Okay.
So that's why I'm not loving it personally,
Yep.
especially when so much of what Cam Johnson's been offering has just mostly been points on the board, literal points. And you insert Cam Thomas, a lot less shots to go around.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well put there. Okay, let's jump back to Unabated, do the game by game here. Where was I clicking? I guess, dude, I kind of glossed over auxiliary thunder pieces there. We could go back for a half second. Obviously still without Chet, Caruso missing this evening as well there. Yeah, I imagine SGA, Kaysen, Lou Dort, J-Dub, Hartenstein will be kind of like the starting unit there. Hartenstein has an interesting ADP in that like 13 to 15 ish range there. He does seem to be a faller. Are you taking the Q tag guys over Hartenstein right now, or are you taking Hartenstein in the third round?
No, I think I'm taking a decent amount of Hartenstein, but let me confirm because I think I kind of have him pretty much like at ADP. So
Sure.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I don't have a lot of Hartenstein. I mean, because I am going Curry over him. So
Okay. Yeah.
that could suck.
If you go Curry over him, you're basically not going to get him because he is kind of like a resistance point for the casual drafters to not click the Q tag there.
That's crazy to me. Well, yeah, it's a tough one too because like it doesn't like pop off to me as like an awesome Hartenstein spot. You know, him banging with Zubac, like I don't necessarily see this as like a great spot for him.
No, I agree with you. And Clippers defense has been nice. Chris Dunn's been one of the best defenders in all of basketball. Like, I mean, not that it directly impacts Hartenstein, but like both those teams are just solid defensively.
Exactly. So like, like Hartenstein or Curry, I'm probably gonna go Curry. Like,
right.
And I don't think that's a hot take. Like Hartenstein, fantasy point projection, 33, Curry's 37.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't see a reason why Curry would sit either. I know he's got the Q tag.
Played 25 last time out.
Yeah, they got their shit stomped by the Cavs as most teams do. And it's been a few days since he last played. So
respect it, Nez. Respect
I guess I'm gonna have a lot of Curry.
Yeah. I'm fine with it. That means you're probably going to be, I guess we're going to get to that game, but that probably means you're going to be under on Kuminga, right? Like the Kuminga ADP is very scary to me right now.
Yes, I think so. Where Kuminga's 20 ADP, right? So, he does project better than Jimmy. And do we have anything on Powell? He's a little better than Powell, better than Siakam. So I guess like not like terribly.
Okay.
Let me see how much I do have of Kuminga. Let me just like get it straight from the source. Yeah, no Kuminga right now.
Okay.
I need to fix that. I need to fix that.
Well, Kuminga is a swing state right now, right? Like it's pretty his ADP kind of bakes in that he's going to play like 33 minutes, right? And how does that happen? And it probably happens with either Steph not playing and he draws into the starting lineup alongside Schroeder, right? Like that's one path to doing so. Or Draymond doesn't play. He sits with the Q tag in the last round, and then they start Curry, Schroeder, Wiggins, Trace Jackson Davis, and Kuminga, right? But they do love them as, second unit handling off the bench, do they not?
They have been now. I mean,
yeah.
I made the joke that, Kerr must have like banged his head off something real hard. And now he's like, oh, I think I'm going to play Jonathan Kuminga. Like,
it's good all of a sudden.
Well, what the fuck? Yeah, I've got this really good player on my team and I could play him instead of dude. I cannot wait for him to get his what he deserves.
You ready for another crazy bad John comp of players coming off the bench that shouldn't have been coming off the bench that should be starting that I kind of like?
I'm absolutely terrified. Yes.
Devin Vassell and Jonathan Kuminga.
Yeah, I think that those are like, I feel like there's a difference in my head, but you're right.
Okay.
I feel like the Vassell was a slow play off of his injury. Kuminga
Right. Yeah,
is
that's
like
a good point. That's a good
Steve
point.
Kerr just like looks at Kuminga and he walks in the door. He's like, "Fuck you." He's
He's
like, "Huh?
Fuck this guy, man.
Good morning. Go fuck yourself."
Yeah.
What did I do? Doesn't make any sense.
That's exactly what he does.
Like why do you hate me, coach? Sit on the bench.
Oh man. All right. I guess that's a good way to segue into Sixers and Warriors. This is probably the most fluid, dynamic situation because I think pace will push up in this game if you get no Embiid and you get Curry in, if that makes sense. I think that's how I view it because we've noted that the Sixers play a lot faster without him. Chad noted in the chat earlier that the maxi splits aren't as stark with and without Embiid there, but the PG ones are. So PG will push up, and then the Kuminga ADP is kind of hinging upon one of the Q tags sitting. They're already going to be without pods there. So yeah. Anyways, what are your kind of macro thoughts on this one? As the Sixers have still not filed, so maybe we get it on show in the next 30 minutes, but they still haven't filed. Warriors, slow-mo Q tag, Steph Q tag. Draymond got shifted to probable, so my narrative from 2 seconds ago is out the window by looks. And then Gary Payton Jr. and Pods are both out there. So looks like Kuminga off the bench again, but as they're alluding to in the chat here, like 34 off the bench last time. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think for me it's pretty simple. It's Steph and Kuminga, and like I think maybe 6th-round Draymond, maybe 6th-round Trace Jackson Davis, maybe 6th-round. Did I say Andrew Wiggins?
Not yet. No.
Yeah, like that's really it though. They got to get a condensed rotation shortly, but Trace Jackson Davis I think is really interesting. He's been playing a lot more lately, and putting up really good fantasy numbers. I think that this is a spot where you're going to see him on the floor quite a bit. So he's definitely a 6th-round pick for me today.
Now, is any of that hinging upon not getting because I'm thinking how the Sixers could play tonight if we end up with no Embiid. They had Drummond back last night. Drummond played like 21-ish minutes like that. Could they play small, play Yabu at the 5? Then you don't necessarily need the size of Trace Jackson Davis, and they could play Draymond at the 5 against it, and then Kuminga could start. Like anything funny like this where Trace Jackson Davis could get cut down tonight. I guess that's the only path is Embiid doesn't play, is how he gets cut down this evening.
Yeah, I guess. I just I'm the box scores, man. Past 5 games, not a game under 30.
Yeah.
It's really solid for every draft. I mean, his ADP is 29.6, but I think you get in the right rooms, people are going to let him slide and take, Miles Turner over him and things like that. But
yeah, both run good. Rick and Emwald saying in the chat that they've both been smashing him in the 6th right now. Jewish McCaffrey. Kuminga's the Bam Adebayos of Kendre Miller's. I have no idea what that means, but it feels right. I have no idea what that means, but it's probably right.
that there's so many intertwined. There's so many layers to that comp there.
So many layers, and I respect the hell out of it that this is the only place on planet Earth where that joke would reign true. Yes. Okay, late night hammer on the slate, Blazers and Lakers here. As I gotta ask you, obviously Winky said AD 101. Other people have I've seen take AD at 101. You can get overweight by taking him at 2. There are some concerns that in certain rooms he does fall to like 104, 105, introduces some different combinations there. I'm going to ask you the question of where you would take LeBron if AD didn't go tonight or we got negative AD news on an upcoming report. Where would you take Braun?
I would take him 3, I think.
Behind SGA
I think I'd still put him behind SGA. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe that's not it, but
No, it's cool. I mean, it's your opinion. It's all good, man. Yeah. I mean, I'm putting you on the spot here. I would ask you the Reeves price tag now. Is it good, bad, indifferent? He goes kind of anywhere between 11 and 15 in every single draft. I've been taking Hero over Reeves. Where are you at?
yeah, no, I take Hero over Reeves as well. But I love Austin Reeves. I don't really want to do that necessarily. But the Hero ADP is just wrong, and the Reeves ADP is not terrible. But I like Reeves. I like Hero more, so I'm gonna have more Hero than Reeves tonight by like a large margin. But um, Austin Reeves, dude, they remove the D'Lo funny business, and they're asking Reeves to do a lot more, as they should have been for a while. And this is a really good spot for Austin Reeves against Portland. Yeah, he's absolutely should be a 2-3 turn type pick for sure, for sure.
Okay. Does Gabe Vincent Q tag impact handling role of Reeves at all?
I don't think so. No, I think Reeves is that guy right now for them.
Gotcha. Perfect. Any auxiliary Lakers pieces that we're getting to? Obviously, Reeves, James, and it's weird to call LeBron James. That's so bizarre.
LeBron.
Reeves, LeBron, and AD go every draft in the first like 14, 15 picks there. Are we getting any Rui in the last round? Are we getting any, probably not DFS yet, any Connect, anything like that? Shake? Can we fall in love with Shake again? Backup handling role, anything like that in the last round?
No, you can't.
Okay.
The sixth round is too full of better players.
Sounds good to me.
Weird slate, not a great slate, but man, I can talk myself into a lot more, a dozen players before I got to think about Rui or Shake tonight.
All right, sounds good to me, bro. All right, on the Blazers side, Banton Q tag right now. Jeremy Grant's already been ruled out. That's kind of it that really matters for us. I guess the Thibault out tag, but that's been long time. But yeah, just looking at the Blazers side there, it's basically Ayton who goes every single draft at like pick 22 through 25, something like that. And then, some people take Denny Avdia in the last round. Well, most people are taking Denny Avdia as next Portland piece up in the last round. And then Anthony Simons goes at some capacity as well. Anything else that you like from the Portland side? Any other names that you would be getting to or not wanting to get to relative to ADPs?
Portland is tough, but I mean, if they could just condense just like one or two more players, then they might be like kind of awesome. Let's see here. Jeremy Grant being out is very nice. Ayton is definitely in my player pool. Simons, I'm taking Simons. I'm taking Avdia, and I'm taking some Shaden Sharp as well. You're seeing more usage from Scoot, but a lot of these fantasy points that he's been amassing have been thanks to stocks. He played 23 minutes. He's not seeing the same minutes as Shaden is. So I think Ayton, very fine where he goes. And then Simons, Avdia, and Shaden should definitely be a part of 6-round rotations. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have a lean between them? Because right now, the quote unquote sharps of the community keep taking Denny Avdia over that whole group there. Do you have a lean that's that solid?
I get it. Right. He does more when he's, when he gets that full run, and he does seem to be like a pretty strong replacement for Jeremy Grant. So I would not disagree with that. But I had been doing Simons more than I've been doing Denny. So let me change that.
This is a really funny one in the chat from our guy M1250 saying that Denny had a double with turnovers last time out. He looked like such a sharp play on Redacted, much like Miles McBride did last night as well, where it's like people got that late breaking news. You and I were clamoring about how we got our swaps in right at the buzzer there to get both Bridges and OG as our primary swaps instead of fighting over, Dyson Daniels and that sort of thing, trying to get ahead of the Jalen Johnson stuff last night. I thought it was a very, very interesting sequence. Both of those last two slates on Redacted that I didn't play them. But, I'm just following the news and stuff like that. But just very interesting to see the Denny one look like such a good spot when the late Grant rule out there. And then he just comes out and it's like 17-7, 2-1. Oh, man, this is pretty good at 32 minutes and then 10 turnovers.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. Dude.
That's too many. It's too many turnovers, guys. You shouldn't be turning the ball over that much.
Oh, shit, man. That was funny. Tuna, we hit on this one earlier. We're kind of both on the side of the fence that Jalen plays tomorrow, Zinger plays tonight, and then they flip-flop tomorrow. That's kind of where we are thinking. Anything else you want to say on that one, Nez?
No, I think you summarized well. It seems to be the Celtic way.
Yeah. Okay, that was the game by game. Nez, anything you want to just close the book on with the game by game here on the Unabated platform before we hop into jump or draft?
No, I don't think so, man. This is a very, very tricky slate. Very tricky slate.
Yeah. I think it's very tricky because as soon as Jimmy Butler goes off the board, as soon as Pascal Siakam goes off the board at that 25, 26-ish pick, you can do whatever the F you want from 26 to 40. I think that's what makes it really hard. And do you value the Nets guys? Do you wish cast D'Lo into the starting lineup? That sort of thing. That's what's making it a very challenging slate to play right now.
Yeah, it's tough because I'm going to have to auto way more than I usually do today. So I'm going to have to be, semi-cognizant of what those ranks are. And I'll probably have to force some like 5th round Nets to, get some, combo. The way I like to play it is, doubling up my 6th round picks in the 5-6.
Okay, cool. Respect it, dude. Love that strategy this evening. Chad's asking what absolute sauce is going with for the 92% owned player this evening.
I'll have to ask him.
I just ask him right now. He'll tell you in the chat. But I will say that I think he's doing a Bam thing right now. I noticed in the early drafts that he was taking a lot of Bam. I think he was running it back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Little Bamski. I mean, Bam. Hooked him up last night.
Yeah.
Run it back.
The verbiage of the trains is progressively changing on our site. It used to be the RT99, then it was the A-Win. Now it's the absolute sauce.
The absolute. It's a great name to call it too. You're absolute saucing the leaderboard.
Oh, buddy, don't tempt me. My mitts are shaking already. I want to sauce some baskets around. Awen said he's got 54% Simons in the last round. That's wild. Trevor's asking KP in the 6th round. I imagine that's KPJ. I'm fine with it. I think if he starts,
are you serious?
Right? Why?
He's talking about
he won. Oh, he's talking about Zinger. Oh, nobody calls Porzingis KP. It's either Zinger. It's like no one calls him KP. Yeah, KP in the 6th is a layup, dude.
I'm assuming you're talking about Kevin Porter Jr.
Well, fuck, that's like a legit 6th round question, right? Like the Zinger one's just like, yeah, smash it until your finger bleeds.
I suppose, but Zinger's a 6th round pick.
All right.
And I agree. I agree with the sentiment, but it's just so funny.
Who would you rather play tonight, Derek White or Zinger?
Derek White.
Yeah. Trevor, I'm just clowning, bro. I'm just clowning. Dude.
I will also call him KP.
From now on, he's KP on the program.
KP?
Kevin Porter Jr. doesn't exist.
No.
All right, let's move back to... Yeah, there you go. Let's move back to the platform here. Let's hop in a draft or two and see what it looks like on the fly. Thursday night hoops for the $5 price point. 10K up top, 100K guaranteed. Hopping in right now. Snap, Phil.
Whoo-wee. Pick 5. Fun spot to be in.
Yeah, you like the right-hand side of the board tonight or what?
I like pick 5.
Okay, interesting.
Probably 6 more.
About...
I like Embiid tonight.
Okay.
I like getting Embiid tonight. I'm going to have a ton of Embiid tonight. Like, Nobody likes Joel Embiid, and he's got the Q tag. You can get 30% Embiid against the Portland Trailblazers tonight.
That is factually incorrect. He's definitely playing the Warriors this evening.
Oh, the Warriors. Sorry.
But yeah.
That is blasphemy. Honestly, same fucking thing.
Same thing. Oh man. So I think I'm Embiid over LeBron. I think this is a good question in the chat here. Are you taking Embiid in relation to LeBron? This sort of thing. I think the LeBron ADP kind of hedges the fact that AD may or may not play, and I'm treating it as if AD plays this evening. So I am taking Embiid over LeBron. Are you feeling the same?
Embiid over LeBron? I think Embiid over LeBron in every draft.
Yeah, likewise there. I think if you really want to get over the field, you'd have to put him at like 3 or something, and I'm not willing to do that. So I think 4 is kind of like my hold strong for Embiid right now. Because even if
I'll pick him over Tatum, but like I'm worried about like this Jaylen Brown sitting.
Okay, yeah, I guess so. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I mean, kind of coming full circle here, Nez, in talking about what we talked about at the start of the show is like so much of the ADP value right now, or not value, ADPs are just hinging upon other moving pieces on the slate.
Exactly.
We get Embiid there. He does the LeBron plus Maxey one there. So we have this decision that we were talking through. We don't think Harden, the midday Q, we're pulling him down a little bit there. This is where you said Ant, but is there something else that we could push up or pull up that
I'm already turning my back on Anthony Edwards and going Dame or Bam.
All right, let's do it. Let's pull up Bam to the other side of the board then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's classic us. I mean, I like the Bam spot this evening. It's classic us and I say us as a community. Everyone
the royal us.
The royal we here. It's classic to be like, fuck Bam, never Bam, never Bam, never Bam. And then all of a sudden one night his 35 turns into 50. And the next night we're like, fucking Bam at 3, baby. Bam at 4. Here we go. Let's get all the Bam tonight. Like
you could probably make a fortune hitting Bam lowers in the pick'em lobby because every day, dude, every day, it really doesn't even matter who they play. Bam has a 40 higher lower for fantasy points.
I like it.
That's consistently like higher than where he gets drafted. Like, so it's like either something's got to give or just fade Bam in the pick'ems every single day. So I think, the levee might be breaking here.
Okay. I respect that, dude. I think that's a good take. I tend to agree with that fully.
Yeah. It's just, by paying attention to these things every single day, you notice some things and like, man, they just refuse to budge on Bam Adebayo. These pick'ems, they love Bam Adebayo every single day, single day.
I think this is a fun one that we should run back here. We did the D'Lo double-double, but we could do a Reeves double-double alongside it to get it to 50x. I think that's a sharp one in the chat.
Yeah, it's like 48x, I think.
Okay. Let's do that one right after this. Juice McCaffrey saying that Ship Chasing's doing a winner circle tonight. Who's the winner circle for?
Whoa.
BBM winner? BBM winner?
What the hell? I'm uncomfortable right now.
I respect it. Okay, is this the stopgap to finally take James Harden, or do we still like some of these other pieces more?
Shit, man. I'd probably take Hartenstein.
All right, let's do it.
I just I just don't think he plays. Let's see if DMC will do it. Okay, yeah, thank you.
DMC does it because he's a winning player on this site. John takes Hartenstein because I needed to lock in that 30 points for min cash. So here we go. We could do the Kuminga stuff. We could push up Norm Powell because we think he's probably worth that ADP anyways. And then if he doesn't go, if Harden doesn't go, he probably looks a little bit better. Jimmy Butler's been falling a lot, but maybe we could take him here. What do you think?
I like Kuminga.
All right, you like Kuminga over this grouping. Get a little game correlation with the Embiid pick there. Staying pretty tethered to ADP right now outside of the Bam pick, but the Bam pick might do enough for us flipping the board that there you go.
It definitely does. It definitely does. Like, I think maybe sometimes I take the board flipping a little too far.
Okay. Bindle's rolling through to say what up. Jake's saying that Curry's going to wake up tonight.
I think so.
that would bode well for Nez's bags as of right now. He's asking if the Harden thing. We've had the Harden conversation a couple times now. We don't think he plays, but yeah. Mookie's saying that nobody wants Harden, but also nobody wants Zubac and Norm. I kind of get it. I kind
I
of
get
feel the
it.
same way,
I
man.
get it. Yeah, I mean, you can't just like
Yeah.
who's really how much of this like the Harden usage? It just like dies. The offense just dies. You know, there's no like real funneling. There's not a lot of shifting going on. Like, how much more can Norm Powell do? Norm Powell
Right.
is like damn near like averaging like 30 a game
Right.
right now. How much more can he possibly do? I don't know. I guess we'll find out.
Man, that Jimmy Butler at 28 could age like wine.
Yeah.
And as we were talking about the Zinger stuff, taking the Zinger Q tag, feels good here. I could also get on board with the Trey Stackson Davis, as you alluded to earlier. What's the stopgap for Miles Turner? What do you like?
Let's do Kristaps.
All right. I respect it.
And I'm guessing is D'Lo? Did D'Lo go?
Not yet, but he's about to right here.
Think so? No way.
No. Yeah, let's take D'Lo. Let's go alongside with it. Take D'Lo. I like D'Lo kind of like over this next grouping. Any other scroll down names that you've been clicking? You said the Sharp one. I said the Claxton one. I did a couple Benny maths there. Pritchard for me will only be if the Q tag guys sit. I won't try and get ahead of it now because so what? He goes in the 5th round instead of the 6th. Like the closing line value associated with it isn't huge. Nope. I'm taking a lot of Rudy Gobert, man. Like the stock ceiling still exists. He plays 35 minutes every single night on a slate where I'm scared of playing time. Well, as I say that, he's played 31, 30, and 28 in recent memory, but he plays 30 every single night. I was trying to get that one, but yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, it's kind of interesting that Rudy is now like an undrafted player, you know. In Slate's past, he would be like a 4th round pick, you know. Like people were just like, it's Rudy. You gotta take Rudy. And like I never liked taking Rudy Gobert. He's a good 6th round pick. Just flat out is a good 6th round pick right now.
What do you think about the 2-hole here? Jaleon 73 doing the double OKC thing. Hallie, who we didn't really talk about very much, goes at 14 there, but then he does the Bobby Portis up at 23, like nice and early, anticipating the Giannis out tag. What do you think about that move?
I mean, if it works, you know, then that's a great move. But like, I think that's even a reach for Bobby, right? Can't you get Bobby in like the 6th?
I think so. Yeah, I think you can get him most of the time in the 5th or the 6th.
I mean, either way, I think the team is fine if that's the thesis, regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you. Chad alluded to in the chat the Bobby Portis points per minute spikes from like 1.1 to like 1.4 without LeBron, something like that. Yeah, Bobby doesn't even go in every draft. There you go.
Yeah, that's kind of wild. I guess he's really feeling the Giannis rest.
Sorry, I meant we picked KP in the last round or in the 5th round. There, my bad. My bad, guys. My bad.
Not Kristaps.
This is a good point here with the Clippers tonight that Harden also helps with the shot creation for Norm Powell.
Exactly.
It's a really good shout. Couple things. Blake saying in the puck streets here, he's taken, we don't do overs around here. Blake, you've been around for a long enough time to say hires here. Brock Favors hires. All right. Ice time hires.
Come on, Blake.
Love it, man. Master Y asking you, Nez, the hires on LeBron's points and Giannis's PRA. Those both seem pretty market efficient to me. Do you feel similarly?
Giannis 40.5. I mean, I don't like taking like a multiplier doc to get these type of things.
Exactly.
So give me LeBron points and take them at normal at the 1x. Take them at the normal multiplying.
All right. Let's rip one last draft here, but I want to get that D'Lo. What are we?
D, Angelo.
Go. That's what I did, and it didn't come up. All right. Let's see here. There's the double one there. We still got the double one there. And then who was the other one we wanted to? We did it with Hero once
Reeves.
already. We want to do it with Austin Reeves, aka Him Reeves.
Yep.
This could break a couple different ways. He could just get there, because he's a dog. It could also get no AD, which I don't think is going to happen, but it just gives us another out at it happening. 50 USD gets us basically 2,400. Love it.
Let's go, man. That's insane.
There we go.
Right, let me play along here. Okay.
Dropping that one in the chat for the friends and family. Hey guys, we got 340 of us hanging out. If you guys are on the X side, come on over to the YouTube side. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell, all that fun stuff. We're jamming out every single weekday. Back to regular scheduled programming. We'll be on with Pete Overzed, the Cash Game King, tomorrow to talk through the slate of Week 18 NFL. There, saving some nugs there close to his vest. We're gonna try and get him to reveal the shell. But I'm not sure that he will do it, Ness.
You have to pry it out of his cold dead hands, John. There's no way. No way he's letting you do that.
No way we're getting the shell. Yeah, but 2:30 Pacific, or no, 2:30 Eastern tomorrow will be that show. Then we'll have the weekend away, and then we'll be back to regular scheduled programming now that I am back over the next couple weeks there. Maybe a little bit of alleviation.
Fuck.
For what?
Sorry, John.
Giannis?
First, AD.
Out.
Doubtful.
Shit.
You didn't get if you don't have that yet. If you don't have that yet, it's because you're not in the Unabated Discord, folks. I don't know what to tell you. That shit gets there so fast. It's crazy. Yeah, you're not getting. Look at that, Braun. Incorrect buzzer. Not getting it.
Couldn't get it. Couldn't get it in time. Hoops. Oh, that is an all-time hoops moment. Hoops time indeed. All right, so we got the AD doubtful tag. Let's talk through the dynamics of that as we hop in a draft here, Nez.
Let's get in here.
I think Austin Reeves is going to be overpriced for us now, relative to the teams that had him before. The one saving grace is that his ADP lined up with AD in a big way there. So a lot of those combinations will coexist. Who's the new 102, 103? Do we want LeBron over Tatum now? I mean, we could still get news that breaks Tatum in the right direction. Do we still want Embiid over that crowd? Well, what's your knee-jerk reaction here?
Yeah, LeBron 3.
LeBron 3? Okay. So Giannis, SGA, Braun, Tatum, Embiid.
Man, I think Embiid over Tatum. Like, why? Let's just assume, make the assumption here, and I know the Q tag is part of this, part of the ADP. In the situation where Tatum is playing and Embiid is playing, they're both active, they're both playing. Tatum, no Jaylen Brown, but Kristaps is playing. Who would you rather have? Again, who would you rather have?
LeBron.
Well, Tatum and Embiid.
I got you. I'd rather have Embiid.
1v1.
I'd rather have Embiid.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
And throughout the history of time, we've taken Embiid over Tatum, and now we're not, because of the fact that I said earlier, people hate Joel Embiid. Nobody likes to pick Joel Embiid.
Let's talk about the swappability of Embiid. Are you drawing stone dead if you take Embiid and you have to swap?
Yes.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. Yeah. That's another little wrinkle. We take SGA at 2 there. We got a friends and family draft here. Chad's back in. Buster Boys, who's having a great year, is in there too. He's taking Tatum over Embiid still. Our guy Lewis is in here, and Moster Evan is hanging out. So we'll see how this one shakes out.
So you're worried about Reeves' price? It sounds like.
I'm worried about pushing him up now.
Reeves versus I think Reeves is clearly ahead of Zubac and Hallie for you. No question.
Okay.
I would assume.
Yeah. No. Yes. Yeah.
Reeves versus Hero. I mean, Reeves already had a higher ADP than Hero.
Mhm.
Reeves versus Jalen Williams.
I think I still like J-Dub.
Yeah, I go Reeves.
Like taking Reeves. Like this seems fine to me because we're basically only swapping one pick because Reeves was going at 14 before. Like this feels like a smash when you get him at 11.
This is good. This is where he should go.
I kind of agree. I guess the stopgap Nez is going to be Hero, Hallie, Reeves. Rank them.
Hero, Hallie, Reeves. I would go Hero, Reeves, Hallie. But I don't want to completely fade Austin Reeves. So I'm gonna eat the chalk and I'm gonna, face the steam just like everybody else.
Okay. Hallie it is. I like Hallie more than Zubac and Harden here.
Same.
Yeah. Okay. That broke out pretty nice for us. This is a very interesting dynamic right now because Underdog hasn't adjusted yet.
Oh,
And
really?
we just saw.
No, I see it. I see him doubtful.
Oh, now we get a D tag. Oh, so did he take him? This is interesting because it's one of those when I didn't refresh he took him
You
with
still
the
would
D
have got the
tag at
pop up
12.
though. The back end would have still hit
Yeah.
you with the pop up.
Yeah.
But like I've been guilty of it where like I've had those pop ups before and I immediately like say like who cares? Like I want, like you don't even know what you don't even know what it's about,
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't read it, if you read it, it's very clear what it's telling you. But I've been quick to dismiss it because I'm like, I want this player.
Ricky Lee, the Galbrain play is getting over on Pacers pieces now. Paid suggesting that we just got the total or the spread to 7.5 there. I'll jump back over to unabated. Yep, I'm seeing 7.5, 7.5, 8. They just took down the 9.5, 7.5. Yep. Man, getting that Reeves one in there at the buzzer, that was fun. That double Reeves one,
Holy shit,
that
you're
was
right,
fun.
dude. Holy shit.
Yeah, we got
I
that
didn't even
in.
think about that. What's that? I wonder what that's got to be like a 3x now, 2x? Or no, I'm thinking Russell.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways.
Yeah, you're doing the Russell still on the Lakers move.
Yeah.
Do we like Norm more than Jimmy Buckets here, or do you like Jimmy Buckets more than Norm now?
I think you go Norm.
All right.
I still think you go Norm.
All right. I do think it is a little rarer for Norm to fall back to the left side of the board than Jimmy too.
That I think when you factor that in as well.
Yeah. This is a good another nugget to add here that it is probably good for Ayton. Like Ayton getting in a slight projection bump here.
Call me crazy, dude. I don't know.
Okay.
I feel like 8 minutes now are much more fragile. Because if they play smaller,
they could play small. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nez, I ask you who you like more, Julius Randle or Paul George. I think it's a tier break for me.
Randle for sure.
Okay. You like Randle for sure. If we get no Embiid, we're not going to know that before the slate because they're going to
George for sure.
Right. But where would you push Paul George to hypothetically?
Right.
We're not going to get that information because it's a West Coast game late.
I would push him ahead of Howley.
So PG at like this 13, 14 range?
Yeah.
PG without Embiid or Austin Reeves?
Austin Reeves.
Okay. All right. Oh, there we go. JGFC's riding. He got it in right before there. Love it.
Let's go. Would love to see it.
Emo Stare got Reeves in the what's the FS?
Fantasy points, I think he means. Fantasy score.
Fantasy score.
Points.
Yeah, at 36, like 5 minutes ago. Well done. Love it. Feels good for awesome. Avia. That checks out.
Man, that was crazy to get that live.
Yeah, that was a fun one. Mookie was clowning me because I was clicking on it, still thinking Russell was on the Lakers. I wasn't doing that. I was clicking on Russell because we already had the Russell double-double. That's why I was trying to do the LeBron with Russell. Because I was like, oh, we knew we already liked it and we could get a big multiplier like quickly.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's been gone so long you forgot what team D'Lo's on. Love it. Yeah, what a pick 'em, dude. I'm a joke, dude.
I'm a joke, he says.
That's fair. Not derogatory.
Oh my gosh.
We're back up here in the last round. We could do the Cam Thomas stuff. Bobby Portis staring us in the face. Cam Johnson, Nick Claxton, who I alluded to liking. Shaden Sharp, kind of be fun scroll. I don't know. What do you like?
I like Shaden. Let's go to Shaden if you can get there.
Let's do it. Let's do the Shaden one.
Gotta get you scrolling.
Yeah. I got a lot of Cam Thomas in my life already. I like it. I think this team probably projects better with Cam Thomas there. I think that'd be a really solid projecting team that might not exist in the future just because of the price tags we got on both Reeves and Powell. But yeah, I mean, the Cam Thomas narrative can swing either way with the Russell stuff in there. And I think this might be a little bit of a boost here to the Sharp stuff. I saw Ricky say it in the chat there that we could get a 50 burger from Shaden Sharp at 2% ownership. So we went with it.
Yeah. I like it.
Love it, man. SGA, Reeves, Hallie, Powell, Randall, Shaden Sharp for our last team on stream. 336 of us hanging out right now. Do us a favor, hit that like, hit that subscribe, that notification bell. I actually missed this one earlier. Ricky chiming in, giving us a little $2 donation there. Shout out John for saving my season. I can't believe that is in any way possibly true, but you might have just saved mine with the Shaden Sharp pick there. Mad respect. Thank you so much. Nez, any final words on the slate? Any other Lakers that you might want to get to in the last round?
I'm going to leave the Lakers stuff to you. I just want to say, please Cam Thomas, please Tyler Hero, please Joel Embiid, please save me. I just did an exposure check, and oh my god.
Oh my god is right. I mean, does Jackson Hayes start tonight? And they just put him at the 5. Jackson Hayes, you could do worse in the 6th round. That would probably be my number one takeaway from a no AD scenario.
Yeah, no, I think it's a pretty good call.
I mean, they could play small and play like DFS and do something like that. DFS, Braun, Rui, Christie, Reeves, Reddish, maybe.
Yeah, I think Rui does get a bump here.
Okay,
but like I can't imagine getting to any of these Lakers tonight still. Other than Reeves and LeBron. Yeah.
I mean, Dalton Connect's a dude who could fill it up from deep too. I see the chat clamoring about Connect there. I don't think Connect's the guy that draws in here. I just think they'd probably be too small going against because they got 3 traditional 5s on Portland that it would rotate today. Like, you got Ayton, you got Time Lord, and you got Klingon, right? Like they would all play big. I think you need Jackson Hayes' size at some point, do you not?
Yeah, who else do they have?
Yeah, Amari Armel, whatever his name is. I can't remember. Yeah, he's like the backup.
Doesn't exist to me. Doesn't even exist.
Yeah, Tor, something like that. I can't remember. I saw it on a spreadsheet one time, some time ago, and I'm not smart enough to remember.
He's a nice guy.
Yeah, he's a great basketball player. Ooh, Giannis just went 3 in my draft. Holy smokes. The casuals.
Not in my rooms.
Yeah, casuals love to push up Braun to 1. So get in there while the getting is good. I think LeBron probably goes 3 now for me as well. So
yeah,
that's kind of the end of that one. We'll be back tomorrow, 2:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow with Pete. We will break down the football slate to the best of our abilities. I have no idea what the Cash Game King is going to do to disrupt us, Nez. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Thank God. Honestly, thank God for the cash game bit because, I'm sorry, guys, you are not getting my A game tomorrow. You are not getting the best of my abilities tomorrow. But shout out to Pete. Pete's going to carry this entertainment wise, and he's gone over his. I mean, he's probably done like 50 different versions of his shell so far.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Man, actually, we haven't even talked about NFL. I actually had a pretty decent week last week when I was on the vacay there. I only got like 70 total drafts in or something like that. But I played the shit out of the Baker doubles over and over and over again.
You genius.
Yeah, what a sharp guy.
Absolute genius.
Yeah, so I actually had a sweat in the main there that we could go back and look at that fell significantly short. But I had the nuts coming out of the morning there with like the double Baker stuff and neighbors and Thielen or something like that. And then I had like a good tight end to go or something. I don't know, whatever. Who gives a shit? All right. Everybody's favorite time of the show. The end. Peace. We'll see you tomorrow. Just fucking play LeBron tonight, I guess.